Sir Joe? We'll be starting na po in a few minutes. Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Alpha TV, and I am Melanie Madrigal, the Chief Marketing Officer of ASLEX PH Academy. So, I would like to warmly welcome you to another episode of our free webinar series called Alpha TV. And we're doing this for free to promote sustainability and accessibility of lifelong learning here in the Philippines and abroad, of course. And so, our topic dwells on the sustainability EMS at a glance for tonight. So again, this episode is presented by ASLEX PH Academy in partnership with IXL, CIE Review Center, Startup PH Podcast, Pinoy IEs, and Grace Apparel. All right, now, good evening to our team YouTube and team Zoom. So you might as well invite all your colleagues, classmates, or friends to also be hashtag significantly better with us tonight here in Alpha TV. So now I think without further ado, please give me this opportunity to, of course, introduce our resource speaker for tonight. So our resource speaker for tonight is none other than Engineer John Paul Ignacio. Okay, Engineer John Paul Ignacio completed his academic requirement for Master's Management major in Productivity and Quality Management or PQM with current GWA of Flat 1 and submitted final thesis requirements entitled Quality Leadership Competency in an Electronic Packaging Industry towards Person Certification. He is the president of the Letran Graduate School Society. He is also currently working for Global Quality Officer handling Global Associated Product Department, a licensed electronics engineer, license number 0051595 ECE, a CQI and IRCA certified ISO 9001 2015 lead auditor quality management system or QLA, an IATF core tools APQP, PPAP, FMEA, SPC, and MSA. An internal audit for AS 9001 and EASA aviation standards. A trained project management professional or PMP. A black belt Sigma certified SSBB. A consistent subject matter expert. SME at IMI University. Rockwell Collins and Advantech, a Six Sigma specialist in project initiator, which have 21 improvements almost every year. So a scholar of ESL Top Scholars of Laguna. All right, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our speaker for the topic, Sustainability EMS at a Glance, none other than Engineer John Paul Ignacio. Good evening, Sir Jeff. The floor is yours. You may now share your screen.
Yes po, good evening, Miss Eli. I think I cannot share. Okay.
Okay, let me just stop
Yeah.
my screen now.
Yan, okay. Okay, let me share my screen here. I cannot open my video, right, Eli?
All right, wait. I'll ask Sir. Sir, can you now open your camera? Or
Yun.
okay.
Finally, I can see, yeah, I can see you. I can see myself in the screen. So finally, we met again here in Alpha discussion, Mel, Eli. No, actually, the last time that we had an online conference, actually that happened around AskLex Summit 2022.
Yes, that's
The
right.
title was All of us are certified the pathway to success, and I was also given an opportunity to discuss about lifelong learning, quality activities, and continuous improvement. I think that was done last year, first quarter as well. No, I think if I'm not mistaken, that's April 23 of
Yes, that's right,
2022.
sir.
Yo, no, it's almost 1 year. So thank you for inviting me again for this webinar series. But this time, I think this is live through YouTube and at the same time through Facebook, right? And
Um,
everyone can, yeah.
we're now live on YouTube, and we will be
Ah,
posting this also on our LMS, which is aslexph.com.
ayun, yun. Thank you. I just would like to let everyone know that actually this learning session, this actually activity will be open for different venues for social media such as YouTube, and it will be open for your asklex.ph as well. So, and at the same time, we are live on Zoom, no, so they can join as well during this discussion for Alpha TV, making you significantly better, no, so thank you for actually it's an opportunity for me to be significantly better as well, kasi as we know, as we teach, as we share our knowledge to participants, to anyone, no, we are also gaining knowledge because we are mastering ourselves, we are mastering activities, and we are becoming relevant, and through that we are becoming significantly better. I think that's one of the topic that I discussed last time, no, relevant. I provided the definition, how can we be relevant in terms of quality management and continuous improvement. But this time, thank you for a warm welcome, Ella. Yeah. So I'm currently at Litran, the president of the Litran Graduate School Society, and completing my final presentation for thesis 3. But all of the requirements are already completed. So isang presentation na lang. So this time, I will discuss about sustainability, EMS at a glance. No, sustainability kasi is a big topic eh. When we say sustainability, it has broad aspects in terms of what are the sustainability aspects that we have to look at. And for this time, I think everyone is very familiar about EMS. No, EMS is Environmental Management System. If you're working in manufacturing, it's I think all of you are very familiar na aside from quality management system, ino-audit na din ng company in terms of environmental management system, the way we assess the risk related to environment, the product, the process, the policy, from start to finish of manufacturing, no? Meron tayong ina-assess na environmental management system. Kasi previously, naka-focus lang kasi yung auditing in terms of quality management system, kasi quality management system is the baseline or the backbone of all of the standards, no. Kaya mapapansin nyo, as the quality management system evolves, yung other standards nagfa-follow. So kapag nag-change, no, last I think 7 years ago, 2015, the quality management system changed, no. So after no, nag-evolve na din yung environmental management system. 20 same year, no, nag-evolve ang environmental management system. 2016, nag-evolve ang IATF, automotive standard, and the other standards as well, no. And at the same time, marami na din kasi mga nade-develop na mga standards for risk management system. That's ISO 3100s, no. So meron na mga nag-emerge na mga standards, but all of those are anchored to quality management system. But in terms of sustainability, lalayo kasi tayo. Aalis tayo in terms of quality management system. Bibitawan natin yung idea natin about quality management system, because in terms of sustainability, we are talking only about 3 pillars of sustainability. That is the pillars of sustainability. Those are environmental, meron tayong social, and economics, no. Those 3 aspects of sustainability goes hand in hand. When we say social, this is the growth of the people. As you can observe, one of the challenges of sustainability is that there is an increase in number of people in the world, no. Hindi lang sa Philippines, no. Pero around the world talaga, no, na nahahamper yung some of the activities because of immediate growth of the people, no. Actually, noong 1804, 1 billion lang yung world population. But now, 2022, as of November 15, 2022, 8 billion na yung ano natin, no, yung population around the world. So from here, dito pala nakikita natin, ang dami palang potential na maging problem. Kapag may problem ka in terms of one of the pillars of sustainability, specifically, we are talking about societal, no, nag-grow yung mga tao, anong mangyayari? Siyempre, kaakibat niyan yung environment din. Kapag dumami yung tao, kapag umunti yung tao, affected lagi yung environment. Lalo na ngayon, the challenge is that we are incrementally growing every year. No, kung mapapansin niyo dito, ang Philippines now have, as of November 15, Philippines now have 113 million Filipinos. So mali na yung sinasabi, 'di ba meron tayong memes na sinasabi ni Catriona Gray na 104 million Filipinos. That was 2018 pa. Pero ngayon 2022, sobrang bilis ng dami ng mga tao sa Philippines, lalo na sa buong mundo, no. So, how can we make sure that there is sustainability for the people, anchoring that to the environment? That's the solution that we are trying to provide in terms of providing an environmental management system. Siyempre, kapag nag-grow yung tao, nag-grow din yung environmental management yung environment. Kaakibat yan yung the third pillar, that is economic, no? The growth of the people may or may not impact the growth of the people directly impact the economy, no? It can be good or it can be bad, no? So whether, for example, depende kasi pa rin sa tao no? It boils down to the society. So for example niyan, no, maraming tao, nag-increase yung tao natin. So for example, from 1 billion naging 8 billion, pero ang mga taong to hindi naman sila um, meron silang controls in terms of environment. So meron silang controls in terms of consumption um, um, of meat, no, mga pagkain. Kasi yung kapag maraming nako-consume yung mga tao, ang nangyayari doon, nagkakaroon yung effect sa food chain. And if there's an effect in food chain, maapektuhan naman yung environment. So kada galaw ng tao, merong galaw sa environment, meron ding epekto sa economic, no? Siyempre, in terms of economic, we are looking at profitability. Okay, sabihin natin today, nung 1804, iba yung pamamalakad in terms of, baka nga wala pang manufacturing nun no? Baka mga ano pa lang yun nun, first industrial revolution. So more on mga pagsasaka pa lang or ano. But now, fourth industrial revolution, nag-evolve. Nagkaroon na ng mga robotics, nagkaroon na ng industrialization. So what happened? No? Nagkaroon ng growth in economy. Yung growth in economy, ang effect din yan sa environment. No? So laging naka-cycle silang tatlo. Actually, hindi naka-cycle. Lagi sila magkakaakibat. Kapag nag-grow yung tao, may epekto sa environment. Kapag nag-grow yung economy, may epekto din sa environment, no? Kaya it's very timely that we should consider sustainability in terms of environment. Kaya yun yung naisip kong topic, no? Binigyan ako ni Eli, ano po ba yung pwede nyo maging topic for Ask TB? And it's very timely. For me, it's very timely that we look at the environmental management system. Matagal na kasi natin tinitignan. 1990 pa, tinitignan na natin ang quality management system. But now, ngayon pala nagsisimula natin, actually 5 years ago, nagsisimula nating tignan ang environmental management system. Ngayon pa lang talaga nag-grow ang ang system in terms of environmental management system. Actually, if you look at the quality management system and the environmental management system, in terms of clause 8, maunti pa lang yung laman ng clause ng environmental management system, which is 2 clause pa lang siya, clause 1 and clause 2. But for um, quality management system, ang dami na niyang clause for clause 8. No? Ang dami niyang sub-clauses for clause 8. So this time, no, since lagi namang affected yung environment, no, kapag nag-grow yung tao, nag-grow yung economy, nagkaroon ng industrialization, dumami yung tao, laging affected yung environment. So it's time that we look at environmental management system at a glance. So hindi ko siya i-cover lahat, no. I mean, meron kasing ang environmental management system kasi is an auditable clause. That's ISO 14,001. So ang dami kasi din niyang mga clauses, pero hindi natin papasukin yung mga clause, yung mga auditable clause. We'll just look at the surface, the purpose, the aim, the needs, no? Ano ba yung general information why we are doing this? What are the basic information that we have to look at in terms of environmental management system? So, yon. Okay, so let's proceed. So in terms of sustainability, no, yun nga yung tinitingnan natin kanina, as the society grows and the economics grow, laging affected ang environment. No, hindi yan pwedeng walang effect sa environment kapag may nag-grow sa society at saka sa economics, no. Okay. So kapag nag-grow ang industrialization, lalo na ngayon, fourth industrial revolution, no, natatandaan ko nung yung first learning session namin sa Letran, no, we tackle or discussed about fourth industrial revolution. But what was discussed by most of the speakers are actually automation, process improvements, but they tend to overlook that there are actually environmental impact if there are improvements in the manufacturing, no. Lagi kasi natin sinasabi we have to improve the process, we have to automate, no. But as we automate, we are using fuel for the machineries, we are using um, energy, no, energy consumption. Sometimes yung mga SMT, 'di ba, they need water, so to immediately cool down the process during the SMT process, no, so they need really water, no, and instead of just letting it cool down on the normal environment, so they tend to use water, they tend to use air. When they use air dryers, it uses energy, no. So what happens? Is that naapektuhan yung ating environment. Lagi kasing parang ano, no, lagi nasasagasaan or lagi nadadali yung environment. No? Aside from that, not just the air pollution, but we also have water pollution. So, example, every time na gagamit tayo na mga crude oil sa ating mga preventive maintenance, di ba? Inaayos natin ang ating mga machines. So, when we are making our machines more efficient, we are using more oils, no? And sometimes yung oil becomes a waste, no? So ang nangyayari, nagfo-flow down sa drainage, 'di ba? And it will pollute the water. So ano lang din 'yon, no? Even if for example, yung basahan, no. So meron kang machine, hindi naman siya talaga naglalabas ng mga madaming oil na directly affecting the water. Pero for example, kumuha ka ng cloth and then ipinunas mo dun sa machine, anong ginawa mo dun sa cloth? Itinapon mo. So that will affect naman the land, no? So lagi magka-connect no? Laging may impact sa environment natin yung mga ginagawa natin in terms of industrialization. So nangyayari, instead na I think there's no way naman para normally, ang ginagawa talaga natin in terms of dun sa um, mga oils na pinupunasan natin is directly tinatapon na talaga natin. Pero how do we control that in the manufacturing? That is actually environmental management system na before kasi okay lang itapon natin kung saan-saan. Pero ngayon, di ba, nagkaroon na ng bio, non-bio, hazardous. So those are the controls that we are implementing in the manufacturing to make sure that there is environmental management system. So we are not just looking at the environment, but we are looking at how are we be able to protect, mitigate those harmful substances or harmful outputs that are brought about by the industrialization. No? Yan. Sometimes yung air, actually not just here, hindi pa masyado implemented here in the Philippines, but in the US, when I went in the US before, there is a project about improving the carbon footprints. The government is really implying that the company should improve the carbon footprint. No? So that's an initiative. No, that's a good one because it now becomes a law. If it becomes a law, all of the company, all of the manufacturing, regardless of the industry they are into, they have to follow. Kasi kapag, ang nangyari kasi, kapag nagkaroon ng law, enacted law, pumapasok yan into, regulatories, no? Yung legal requirements or regulatory requirements, meaning it should be regulated and it is regulated by a specific body of organization. So like either be local or international. No? Sometimes local like yung carbon footprints. So ngayon, specific companies pa lang yung nag-implement, but there are some already international laws that protects the water, the air, and the land. So that's the reason why I tend to discuss more of the sustainability in terms of environmental management system. Hindi lang natin titignan kung ano ba yung mga environmental na issues, but if ever we are given an opportunity to be in the production line and we know that there are some um, um, pollution that may be produced on a specific process. So what can we do as a person? 'Di ba? What can we help? How can we help the manufacturing maybe in small ways, 'di ba? How can we help them to improve or how can we help the manufacturing to control or mitigate or protect the environment? So little by little magagawa natin 'yan. So solution, ano ba yung solution? Meron tayong problema about growth in economy, growth in people, affecting environment. So how can we resolve those challenges that we are encountering in terms of environment? So the solution is actually to provide an environmental management system. When we say environmental management system, as you can see in the image, no, it is a cycle. It starts from planning, it starts from identifying the issues, what are the plannings that we have to do, what are the actions and risks that we have to provide, how can we delegate some of the actions to responsible person, and lastly, how can we mitigate or provide action? And then we will go back to the first step, which is identification again of potential or new issues. And that is management. And when we talk about management, those are the process of management. No? We've learned that from schools. No? And then if we put documentation, if we put standardization, that becomes now the management system. Ibig sabihin, meron kang na-establish na management processes. Management kasi is a combination of interrelated processes from start to finish, and it will loop back to the previous process. So that's the management. And then what you will do is you will document it. you will train people about it, you will standardize that, and that becomes a system. That means that if you already establish that, kahit sino pang pumasok na bago or meron mang mga bago mga mahahire tayo, meron ng mga na-establish na mga procedures, steps, no? That's management system. Saan natin siya gagawin? Babalik natin siya sa environment. So now that's environmental management system. That is actually defined by the ISO 14001, wherein we have, as an organization, we have to plan, plan activities, provide responsibility, plan activities, ito yung mga processes natin, responsibilities, sino ang dapat gumawa at kailan, practices, that's the procedures, standard operating procedures, no, and the processes and the resources, no. We can ask from the management what are the resources that we need for developing, implementing, and achieving the environmental requirements. So normally, hindi ko sinasabi kasi environmental policy, possible kasi hindi pa naman kayo an ISO, hindi pa naman kayo an ISO 14001, but at least in layman's term, we know that environmental requirements are equivalent to environmental policy. So that's also equivalent in terms of, yeah, 3Ps. No, we have people. That means that the people should be knowledgeable of what was written. That's paper, the procedure, the policies, no, the work instructions, the check sheets. No, those under paper. Those are under paper. And lastly, the procedure. Those are the standard operating procedures, the work instructions, no, or the steps or the processes specifically, no. When we combine all of this, the people, paper, and procedure, nowadays kasi hindi na lang kasi 3Ps yan eh, no. When you audit, you will not just only look at the people, their paper or their document, or look at the actual process, but we look also if there is an embedded technology, no. Ngayon kasi nag-evolve na, no? Nag-evolve na din. It should be 3Ps and wrapped with technology, wherein the people should be able to immediately get information from a server to get the documents, and that will be equivalent or passed through or laid down into the processes. So next is the ISO 14001. It also has the framework wherein it provides from different clauses. It provides commitment for continuous improvement so that we can improve the process. Yeah. So what are the benefits of ISO 14001? So yeah, the first benefit of ISO 14001 is that, of course, there's an improved environmental performance, no? For example, you are in the company, your environmental performance should be lower down the cost in terms of energy, no? So that means it may be related to cost, but actually that's related to environmental management, because as we improve on the cost related to the energy consumption, that means that you are using less energy consumption for your equipments or for your production. So it may not directly be related to turning off the lights, but actually sometimes it is converted into a cost. So improved compliance. So as I have said earlier, no, sometimes if they're already an ISO 14001 and it is enacted by the law, there are regulatory requirements. So one of the requirements of the ISO 14001 is for you to comply on the environmental requirements. Next is the increased efficiency or cost reduction. So as we alam mo yun, as we improve the manufacturing line, it also increase the efficiency, right? It's always, directly impacting the production against efficiency. Of course, if there will be ISO 14001, there may be new customers or new markets. And there will be an enhanced employee morale kasi um, they will feel that they're empowered in terms of improving the environmental management system, and they have the capability to improve the process in terms of environment. And lastly, there's an enhanced image with public and regulators. So if you are an ISO 14001 certified, ang mangyayari is yung mga um, public agencies and the regulators are confident that you're already complying to the requirement, because if you are certified for ISO 14001, you are following stringent requirements in terms of the identified clauses for you to fully manage the process or manufacturing in terms of environment. So another benefit, I'll just share to you an experience. No, this really happens according to 5 years study conducted by the University of North Carolina. It is in the US. No, an EMS can be beneficial to the environment performance of the most of the facilities. Actually, based on the study, no, they have 83 facilities. From that 83 facilities that participated in the study, 86% said that they benefited from developing and implementing the environmental management system. So that means that if we are to implement the ISO 14001, it will be beneficial for the company. Another benefit is that the environmental agency in England, this happened in 5 years ago in England, wherein they conducted its own study. Having an EMS is associated with increased operational performance. No, so the average operator performance appraisal, or OPA, scores for facilities without the EMS is 3.4167, while the average OPA, or the operator performance appraisal score for the companies with ISO 14001 certifies has a rating of 3.6833. That means that there is really an increase in terms of operational performance appraisal. Kasi 'di ba kapag naman nagre-rate tayo ng operators, we do not just rate based on their performance, but how do they perform but how do they provide improvement? No, how we appraise people based on their contribution for the company, di ba? And at the same time, sabi ko nga, yung employee morale, no, so that also increased. They are confident, no? So environmental aim of the environmental management system is actually to build success over the long term and create options for continue contributing sustainable development by first protecting the environment, compliance obligation, communication, and life cycle perspective. So in life cycle perspective, ito yung new aspect of environmental management system. Kasi even before, we are already protecting the environment, we are following the regulatory requirements, we are communicating our environmental management system to everyone. But the life cycle perspective, this looks at from the design point of view, we are already looking at how are we be able to improve the environment using the designs that we provided. No? Sometimes instead of using a plastic, no, you are using a biodegradable material that kapag itinapon mo sa water, it can be it can be dissolved immediately, unlike dun sa mga plastics, no? So that's an example of life cycle perspective. So how do we protect the environment? By protecting the environment, we are preventing or mitigating the adverse environmental impact. How are we be able to do that? Normally, for us to protect the environment, we provide. We provide more um, plants. No, magtanim tayo ng mas maraming halaman. That's actually the CSR of some of the company, no? And at the same time, I think in terms of the requirement, meron ng like if you are needing a specific wood material, no, and you have to process it for your manufacturing, there's an equivalent plant that you have to there's an equivalent seed that you have to plant so that you will be able to get that material that you want. No? So I think that's the way of protecting the environment. We also have to protect the environment. We reduce, reuse, and recycle. That's very common, no? And at the same time, by protecting the environment, of course, we clean. We clean the environment. Another way of protecting the environment, aside from protecting it directly, but we are to mitigate, no? Mitigate the potential adverse impact or adverse effect of environmental condition on the organization. So how are we be able to do that? So normally, we know, no, kasi when we say that we are to mitigate, alam natin na we need the resources, no. Kaya nga ano yan eh, as the people grow, the environment needs like water, air, also needs more consumption. We know that we need to consume more water, but how are we be able to mitigate that? So there are some of ways na no para ma-improve yung sa mga faucet. I think meron ng mga automated na pag tinap mo, 'di ba? Pag may sensors na, no? So ibig sabihin you will just get water that you need for consumption. No, you know, not less, not more, but what you just need, no? Next is the way to mitigate as well is actually to find a way on how are we be able to control. For example, merong oil leakage in the machine floor. So anong gagawin natin doon? Alam naman natin na kapag may mga oil leakage, it will affect land and water, no? And kapag sinunog mo yon, it will affect the air. So if all parts of the environment might be affected if you will just dump some pag pinunasan mo lang yung floor na yon. So normally, the way to mitigate that is that we provide controls for not for things not to happen, no? The way to kaya nga kasama sa planning eh, no? So from the planning pa lang dapat na mitigate mo na yung mga potential na magkaroon ng effect sa environment, like dapat hindi natatapon yung mga harmful substances, no? From the procedure pa lang dapat alam na or clear na yon. The way we provide the procedure, the process, no? The people should be aware of that. Yeah, the same thing with when we are cleaning, no? So there should be appropriate way of how do we clean the harmful materials, no? Okay. So that is the improvement on environmental condition, such as improving the water quality and the air quality. No, we may not be directly able to protect it, but if it happened, no, we know what to do. We know how to control the issue. And at the same time, the way to mitigate that is that for that concern not to happen. No? Yun. Yan. Okay, so yan, to mitigate, normally, no, alam naman natin na kailangan nating yan, less consumption of energy. And then sometimes yung mga company nagpo-provide sila ng shuttle para magkakasama na yung mga um, employees within the service. And at the same time, like what's happening in Japan, no, um, they encourage people to have bike. So nade-develop pa yung kanilang um, self, nakakapag-exercise pa sila, and at the same time, wala silang nako-contribute na environmental issue. Next and the last is the life cycle, no? So life cycle, ito yung bago sa environmental management system. So when we are to provide, for example, we are nasa design and development tayo. From the design and development pa lang, dapat na-identify na natin how are we be able to trace the materials from raw material, the manufacturing, transportation, and production use or customer use, and how it will be disposed. Dapat from the design kasama na yung disposal, from the raw material sa pagde-design, during the manufacturing, how it will be transported, how it will be used by the manufacturing, how it will be used by the consumer, and if there will be some items that needs to be disposed, how it will be disposed. So those are part of the life cycle product. We are looking at from the raw material up to final product, and then from final product to disposal, so that walang possible na ma-contribute na issues sa environment, So ang environmental management system, it considers same thing with quality management system. It considers process approach and the PDCA approach. When we say process approach, this is specific process, specific activities wherein we are doing a plan, do, check, act. From each of the processes, interrelated processes, the input, the activities, and the output, it will be fed back to the input to the next process. So that's the process approach. So meaning we have to provide, we have to identify when we are to do the activity, what may be the potential impact that may cause my product to fail, that may cause the process to cause harm to the environment. And if it will be fed, it will be given to the next process, what will be the impact to the next process? Is there anything that we can mitigate so that the next process will have less impact to the environment? So ganun yung pag-assess. We look at specific process. From each of the process, ina-assess mo na how do you, from the material, how do you protect, and how do you mitigate the environmental concerns, and how it will be reduced so that on the next process it will have no impact. So pag pinagdugsong-dugsong mo na yun na yung business process. And when we look at the business process, diba, nag-start yan from raw material up to final customer use, and then disposal. So from there pa lang, meron na tayong each of the process, na nag-a-assess na tayo ng risk related to environment. So same thing with the PDCA cycle. The whole PDCA cycle, we are looking at the management level here. So we do plan for the context of the context issues. We identify what are the environmental objectives in general as a business. If we are producing a plastic, of course, the environmental objective is to dispose the plastic upon no, upon um, end customer use. Yun yung kaibahan ng environmental objective sa quality objective. Sa quality objective, how are you be able to provide good process, effective and efficiently? But when you are looking at environmental management system, how are you be able to mitigate, protect, and at the same time um, provide a way to dispose the material that you have given to your next process or to your end customer. So that's the objective, no. So it covers that pa din the 4 M's, no. The man should be familiar on um, the objectives. There should be methods to eliminate those issues, no? So that's still objectives. And then when you are doing the process, what are the emergency situations, no? What are the operational controls? So that's parts of the environmental management system. Dalawa lang naman yun eh, no? Sa dalawa lang yung nakapasok sa 8 clause 8, no? 8.1 at saka 8.2. But we will not tackle that one. We'll just look at the EMS at a glance, no? So check. So check is about the management review, internal audit, evaluation of compliance, no? So normally dito ito yung mga audit checklist, yung mga check items, no? And then act is for the corrective action, continual improvement, and control of non-conformities. So for the intended outcome from the internal and external issues, the needs and expectations of the interested parties, pinagko-combine natin yan for us to come up with the scope of the environmental management system. This is done for us to have an intended output that the objective of the manufacturing should enhance the environmental performance. So kung ano yung kino-consume mo, dapat nami-mitigate mo, no? You also have to fulfill compliance obligation. So if there are from the external, if there are regulatory requirements, dapat nagfa-follow ka. Isa yan sa output ng EMS, no? And last is to achieve environmental objective. So yun nga kanina, so how do we provide an environmental objective from our process to end process, no? Dapat alam natin kung paano natin ma-mitigate and ma-enhance yung mga processes that will not impose any risk to our product. That will not pose any risk to the environment. Ayun, environmental ISO 14001:2015 requirements. So these are just the auditable clause, no? Auditable clause starts from actually clause 6 up to clause 10. Almost same as the quality management system, except that for the operations, there are only 2 clauses, no? But in terms of performance evaluation, meron ding monitoring, internal audit, and management review. Sa clause 10, meron ding improvement, non-conformity, and continual improvement. And then sa support, lagi naman pag sinabi nating support, diyan natin titignan yung 4Ms. Ano ba yung 4Ms? Yung resources. From resources, meron kang equipment, meron kang material, part yan ng resources, meron kang documents, no? So competence, resource din ang tao, no? Pero it is translatable into competence, hindi kasi natin nilalagay. Yung tao kasi is not quantifiable. So we put here mga quantitative mga qualitative aspects of the people, that's competence, no? Ibig sabihin yung mga measurable, no? Awareness, communication, and documented information. So documented information divided into 2, retained and maintained. Pag maintained, yun yung mga procedures, work instruction, policy. Kapag retained, ito yung mga check sheets, no? Audit forms. Yun. And then last will be the planning. So normally these are actions to address the risk. Normally, dito yung risk and opportunity ledgers, yung mga environmental objectives, dito din natin yan nilalagay nakalagay din yan sa planning. And then 4 and 5 naman, normally related sa management. No? So they are the one to yung management are the one to identify the context of the organization. Ano ba yung scope ng organization? From production lang ba ng ganitong material up to production to translation of product to this specific product with boundaries. No? So those are the scope, no, of the manufacturing. And then leadership, normally, alam naman natin yan na yun yung mga empowerment, yung organizational charts. No? Dapat in terms of environment, meron ka ding ma-identify na sino yung head for emergency preparedness, 'di ba? Sino yung head for the audit para clear, no? Sino yung owner, no? So yon, these are the auditable clauses of the ISO 14001. Yeah, that's all for my presentation for sustainability environmental management system at a glance. So it's just an overview, no? But hindi kasi natin kaya na ma-discuss isa-isa yung bawat clauses kasi actually kapag external audit, no? Pag lead auditor or internal audit, it will really take you at least 5 days to at least be familiar with the clauses. But at least at an overview, we are able to identify the sustainability related to environmental management system at a glance or an overview. Yeah, that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Japs, for that eye-opener topic you have shared to us. So we are also blessed here tonight to witness such an amazing lecture about sustainability, specifically about environmental management system for free. So, well, I think my takeaway for tonight is the three pillars of sustainability are the three most fundamental aspect of sustainability, and they are the environment, economy, and society. Right, Sir Jap?
Yes, yes.
So, without further ado, I think right now let's open our floor for our live audience tonight to ask their question. So you may now ask question to Engineer Ignacio. So just type it on the chat box, or you may want also to open your microphone if you want to speak. So I guess so don't be shy, guys. Just ask your question to Engineer Ignacio. So for the benefit of everyone, I think I have one question here. Can you give us some point on how to champion sustainability at home? I think some of our attendees tonight are working from home.
Yeah, actually, there are a lot of, baka kasi isipin nila environmental management system is just only for the manufacturing or for those company. But we can actually apply that at home. No, we may not be able to provide our own policy at home or provide a document, but actually, by simply turning off the lights as not as needed, no, when not in use, and actually appropriate consumption of water, that's actually sustaining the environmental the water and the energy consumption. I think that's, yeah, specifically for if you are working from home, no, baka meron sometimes kung hindi naman need na mag yung lights as baka naman okay na yung ano nga to, yung sunlight, yung buksan na lang yung bintana para may ilaw na lang, no? Sometimes it can also help, no? And at the same time, it will boost actually your productivity then if you are actually exposed to sunlight, diba? So I think that's one of the opportunity for you to sustain an environmental management system at home or when you are working from home.
All right. Thank you so much, Engineer Ignacio, it was a very smooth answer. So guys, do you have another question? So, Sir Jobs, I think, may we know where we can contact you if we have follow-up questions pa?
Yeah, they can contact me at johnpaul.ignacio@gmail.com, or they can just follow me on Facebook and Instagram, John Paul Ignacio. No, I'm very active naman in terms of answering queries or questions related to specifically this topic that I am actually knowledgeable of, like mga quality management system, environmental management system, no? Marami pa din kasi mga standards. We also have a competence standard, no, ISO 17025. No? We also have ISO 17024. There's a lot of standards, no. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Jobs. So, I think we are near on the last part of our event. It's already 7:57 as of now. So this is the time you may say thanks to our very own Engineer Ignacio for tonight. So just type it on the chat box. And while you guys are typing, I'll be giving the instruction to get your certificates for this free webinar. So let me just share my screen. All right, guys, can you see my screen?
Yes po.
Thank you so much, sir. So here's the instruction. Fill up the attendance form in the link. Only those with attendance details will be given an e-certificate, and the attendance link will be closed after 30 minutes. So, guys, I'll be giving the link after this quick promotion of the ASLEX PH courses. So follow ASLEX PH Academy on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And right now we have also an account at Twitter. Just search ASLEX PH Academy. And of course, our LMS at www.aslexph.com. You may open that website and search for every courses, free and paid courses we have. So I think we have chat here. Let's just check. So they are saying, thank you to Sir Jobs. Thank you also to our attendance tonight. So we are doing Alpha TV, by the way, twice every month. And then we also have Gapihan with Sir Lex every Wednesday, guys. So I hope you can join that also. So, okay, we have the Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt Certification Program happening this January 21, 22, 28, and 29. So that's only 5,000 for professionals and 3,000 for students. And of course, the self-paced Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt Certification Program. You can study anywhere and anytime you want. That's only for 2,990. And then the Green Belt Lean Six Sigma for only 20,000 happening this January 21, 22, 28 until February 19, every Saturdays and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And of course, the self-paced Lean Six Sigma Green Belt for only 14,990, and the Black Belt certification for only 75,000. And then the Project Management Fundamental certification for only 2,490. And the Alpha Certified Kaizen Professional. And of course, guys, we have the Lean Six Sigma Masterclass using TOOS. This is the first Philippine cloud-based analytics platform. So you may join this event on January 28, 2023 for free, guys. So you may mark your calendar now at 6 to 9 p.m. PHT. Of course, this will be discussed by Dr. Felix Viroya, our founder and CEO. So this is the summarize of the online courses certification program. So you may want to screenshot this, guys. And sorry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ayan. The self-paced certification program naman. And of course, our promo, join as a group of 5, pay only for 4. And again, ASEX PH Academy is looking for partners. If you are interested, you may want to um, chat at our official Facebook page and or email us at info.aslexph.com or mlmadrigal@aslexph.com. And then for the ambassadors, if you are supporting the lifelong learning here in the Philippines, this is perfect for you. You want you will be the ambassador of Aslex PH. Just also message us at our Facebook page or email us again. And of course, don't forget to visit us at aslexph.com. And for those who want to avail online CIE review, of course, visit iExcel at Facebook and get an additional 500 off if you are a graduate of any Alpha Premium program. And of course, another partner of Alpha TV, Grace Apparel PH. So visit Grace Apparel PH at Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Shopee, and Lazada. So I think this is the last one, calling the attention of Alpha alumni. If you had taken any course of ASLEX PH Academy, join the ASLEX PH Academy Alumni Network Facebook page. So you may want to scan that QR code or search for ASLEX PH Academy Alumni Network. So yeah, we're done. So fill out again the evaluation form in the link. Only those with both Zoom link and attendance details will be given an e-certificate. Attendance link will close after 30 minutes. So here is the evaluation link, or just scan the QR code. So first, refresh and wait. Number 2, complete the form correctly. Number 3, middle initial, not name. Enter correct email address, of course. And lastly, e-certs will be distributed in a week. So thank you so much, everyone. I think, Jaira, can you copy paste the link on the chat box? And we will be commented this link also on YouTube. So again, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir Job. So let me give this floor again to Sir Jobs to give his closing remarks or whatsoever. Thank you so much, Sir Jobs.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ella, and thank you for all who attended for tonight's session. No? So I know everyone's very busy, but your time tonight is very important for us. No? So I hope that you learn in terms of sustainability related to environmental management system at a glance. So you may not be able to discuss everything or full information about the auditable clauses, but at the surface, I think we were able to provide you information. So thank you for joining us tonight. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.